Hi, everybody, and welcome back to the Ascension Playground. This is Ursie, and today I'm going to be giving a little mini reading for a subscriber named JoJo. Okay, JoJo, I'm going to start first with your Western astrology. So here comes your chart. I get so excited looking at these charts. All right, something happens to me, when you start looking and putting the tea leaves together, it's quite remarkable if a story or narrative comes forward. All right, what do we have here? I like to look at the little box here, and we notice, first of all, a good balance of water, earth, air, and fire in the cardinal, fixed, and mutable signs. So very well balanced in each of the boxes, maybe a little light on mutable earth, but overall, very good. Then let's just take a look and see where the planets are piling up. Here are some in the personal houses, Uranus, Pluto. Got a little pile up here on house 5 with Neptune, Mars, and Saturn. See this little red marking? That means all of these 3 planets are what we call conjunct. So they've merged their energy in your 5th house of creativity, children, and joy. And don't forget self-expression. So big pile up on house 5. Now we're looking at house 6, the house of service, your health, your body, and your day-to-day. You've got Mercury, Venus, and your sun. So the sun shines brightly in your 6th house of service. All right, then we find Chiron, the wounded healer, sitting in your house of marriage or relationships. And in the 8th house is where we're finding the true node, your north node, in the 8th house of deep transformation. All right, and then house 9 and 10, a little empty. We got a big, beautiful moon on the 11th house, and then we come here to Jupiter in the 12th. So if I look at your chart, we notice this, what we call a seesaw. And there's some very strong energy going between your sun, which, by the way, did you know, is right next to the galactic center. So when the sun, your identity, yourself, your strongest light in this lifetime, is conjunct the galactic center, this is like the Stargate. It's where, when you're an artist, you go to the void. It's the pure potential of all creativity. In scientific terms, the galactic center, as you may know, is the center of the Milky Way. So it's the very center. It's the dot, I would say, in the middle of a sphere. And that's how you create the mandala. So the galactic center is sitting conjunct your sunlight. All right, but most of these are in your house. This is the social houses. This is still personal houses. And up here, the moon and Jupiter, though, are in what's called transpersonal. So let's get started. Your ascendant. My goodness, look at that. 1 degree, 17 minutes in the sign of Cancer. All right, so you have what we call Cancer rising. And because you are Cancer rising, the planetary ruler for Cancer is the moon. And the moon is sitting in the 11th house of your networks, your friendships, your associations. And it's a moon in the sign of Taurus. Okay, so we covered the ascendant. Your beautiful sun is sitting in Sagittarius, conjunct the galactic center, and the moon is well aspected in Taurus. So now, my friend, let's look over here. See where it says sun and then moon? Here's your moon, 9 degrees Taurus, 27 minutes, 45 seconds. EXALT means your moon is exalted. So you got an extra heavy dose of intuitive sensitivity, feelings. This is your emotional intelligence. Okay. And then, of course, you set yourself up as a soul before coming in with a little bit of, a little bit of something to have fun with. So your Mercury is in detriment. So your communications are just, in this chart, something to look at. And your Mars, how you assert yourself, is in detriment. And how you expand, Jupiter, is also in detriment. So exaltations, detriments, fall, or domicile, those are all terms that basically say, or they add a layer to tell you, is my moon potent or am I struggling with my feelings? In this case, with a Cancer rising and a moon in exaltation, then I look across and I see this red line here. See, JoJo? It's opposing Saturn, but not just Saturn in the fifth house of creativity. It's a conjunction with Mars and Neptune. So if you take these three, let's just call Neptune the dreamer, Mars, who we learned is in detriment in this sign of Libra, and Saturn and Scorpio, Saturn, the structure, Scorpio, the deep, deep, dark, the darker places, the mystical, the deep feeling. So we look and see, okay, so the moon and how you feel might sometimes have to look at this huge opposition. And the challenge at this stage in life is to find the middle point of how to work with Taurus, the moon in Taurus, the homebody, the one that likes cozy creature comforts, the one that likes soft, cushy, plushy, the best tasty foods, very sensual moon, and sitting in the 11th house. But let's go now, because there's so much to share, and see what's up with your true node. Okay, the true node here, see this little red box is saying it's conjunct the sign for Chiron. Chiron, the wounded healer. This is an energy of the very wise centaur who mentored Hercules and Achilles and others, Jason. He was the wise, medicinal, very loving, calm teacher. He was the big mentor who was unfortunately shot by an arrow that Hercules sent accidentally with the blood of Medusa. So there's a whole kind of layering of metaphor there, right? So what your soul said is, I want to work, and my whole life mission is here. My true node is to work with this 8th house. This is the house of Scorpio, but you have it in Capricorn. Okay, see how this is Capricorn cusp and your node is sitting in Capricorn? This is saying that the 8th house is about death, rebirth, sexuality. It's the deep transformative stages of life, Phoenix rising. So in this house, the soul is saying, I really came in to learn about how to keep renewing myself. But to renew, I have to recycle. So you have to kind of, let it go, allow for the cycles. And again, what's across from your north node? Let's see, it's Uranus, suddenness, but it's pointing to this, it's still in the 1st house. So Uranus in the 1st house, genius level, eccentricity. The self is very, very wise, can be very attuned to things that others in the collective may not be aware of, very future oriented. Okay, so you set this up so that what you are familiar with is Cancer, of being in the home. What you're not familiar with is being out in the world. And so see, this north node in Capricorn is asking to be out in the world with the 8th house, though, of deep death, rebirth. So I wonder, how many career transitions have you had? How many starting overs have you had? And all of that would inform your North Node going forward in this life. Now, I'm just going to jump and share with you that when I took a peek at your Starseed soul connections, your origin came from a planet called, or a fixed star, excuse me, because not a planet, it's a fixed star. The fixed star of origin is Alphard. It's a fixed star in the constellation called Hydra. So this, in the narrative that Julia Balaz has gifted us with, the fixed star Alphard is the heart of the serpent. Okay, this is the largest, longest constellation in the sky, the water snake. Interesting, right? Snakes and scorpions, death, rebirth. And it's sitting right next to Pluto, which is the ruler of Scorpio. So you have a theme going here, my friend, deep, transformative. You did not choose the easy path, even though your moon wants to be cozy with friends and cookies and cozy blankets. The node is indicating something otherwise, that with this great intelligence, the wound with the North Node together, those are the tea leaves. Well, I'm going to pause for there. And let me stop sharing for a moment. And I'll be right back to share your star seed so you can see the actual report. But the origin, again, constellation Hydra, fixed star, Alphard. See you in a moment. Okay, let's go see. Here we are. So this is the Starseed basic report here. And I'd like to share with you, we start with Pluto, and here's how I found Hydra right here. Your Pluto is in Leo, and the constellation Hydra is here. So this is the constellation of origin. And then your most recent lifetime, we see Orion and the Galactic Center. Then I'm going to scroll down here. Hopefully you can see this. All right, well, here we go. When it comes to Orion, you have an opposition to your sun with Alnilam, Alnitak, the Orion Nebula, and Safe. All right, so there's that opposition. You also have a conjunction to the Galactic Center. So you remember I talked to you about Uranus in the first house, eccentricity, intelligence, quick, keen insight. I have a sense that this Galactic Center works with your sun and your Uranus. Okay. So this is your most recent lifetime in Orion. And these are the fixed stars that you can, if you choose to, learn a little bit more about their stories. Okay, by just Googling their names. I'm going to scroll down here. Look at how much you've got here. Look at this little rainbow. Now in Pluto, here's where we see how close Hydra is conjunct your natal Pluto in the third house by the fixed star Alphard. It's the conjunction is at 1 degree 43 minutes. So pretty close orb for that conjunction. And then lastly, if I could just add, let's just count all your galactic centers, okay? This is just for fun. Let's see, galactic center with Pluto. We've got a galactic center with Neptune. We've got a galactic center with your Mars. I'm just talking about how much access you may have to the galactic. We've got it with your sun, which is the strongest indicator because it's the brightest light in any chart. So with that, and then looking at Orion, we've got 1, 2, 3 Orions. Oh boy, this page is a lot. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 Orion. So as you may know, the Orion star family, the constellation, that is the points of the greatest drama trauma. The light meets the dark, again, sometimes you play the good guy, sometimes you play the bad guy, but in any case, it's all about expansion. So we switch roles, and hopefully we learn from that. But this idea of trauma and drama, and then thinking about your Western astrology wheel and thinking about that 8th house, deep transformative lifetime. I'm just going to go in closing to say, I think it's most important for each of us to consider, where is our north node? That is the compass, or the head of the dragon is the north node, the tail is the south node. But where did we say we wanted to focus in this lifetime? And so we looked at your north node and we saw the balancing act, right? So what does it say in summary? That this is not an easy peasy lifetime. This is about oftentimes moments of drama, but understanding that this is the cycle of life, of death and rebirth, this movement of the ocean's in and then it's out. So we just have this flow of life. And your lifetime, based on what I saw, is all about intensity. And you can balance that intensity by staying focused on the center point. So I hope this helped my friend JoJo, and hope to see everybody again soon. Thanks for listening. It's such a joy. And there's my puppy. Time for a walk. See you next time on the Ascension Playground. Bye for now.